Hello, ComicsGate. This is Midday Repartee. I'm Rotten Glory, joined today by the creator of Blood Hunt and Tales from the Natverse. Sim, how you doing?
I'm doing amazing. I got the proof this morning and my hand feels better.
Yes.
I'll be able to
Nice.
draw again in like 2 days.
Yeah, dude, that's rough. And it's like, are there things you can do to try and, because my understanding is that can become a permanent, kind of a permanent problem. And what do you do to avoid that?
I try to usually not game too much. Usually it's a thing that happens when I'm gaming with the mouse. And I don't know. It comes with it. And yes, it can be like I don't remember how it's called.
What's up, Brian?
Carpal.
Hey. Yeah. Um,
But yeah, it's like overworking yourself. If you're lifting stiff one day, you'll sprain your ankle because it happens.
Now, are the things that EVS wears
Yeah,
on his is that supposed to help with that?
it's some of the stuff that people are telling me to get to, like a gel pad for the elbow and one for you know
Yeah,
a wrist holder. Yeah. Technically, that's what I have right now. Is I bandage myself a wrist holder until it, and ice compress and everything is coming back.
nice, dude. Yeah, that's. I mean, it's got to be a fear for you. You draw like you're drawing every day, all the time. I
Hmm.
can't imagine like
I'm going
if it.
nuts. 2 days without drawing, I'm going nuts, dude. I did a sketch card with my left hand. I'm like, hey, you know what? If I practice enough, I could pull a Frazetta.
Nice, dude.
I don't want to get there.
Yeah, that would suck big time. Um, so what I was planning on doing today was, just after yesterday's kind of tense stream, I just wanted to have something chill, something fun. Um, I thought we could just do a ranking of comic to film adaptations. Obviously, there's an insane number of those. A lot of them, probably a lot of people don't even know are based on comics. But just kind
So,
of do the bigger ones, the ones that people are more familiar with.
some of the big ones that are forgotten, right? I would say
Yeah.
the Phantom, the Shadow,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm curious.
Dick Tracy. That was
I rem-
right after the Batman phenomenon,
Oh
and
shit. Yeah.
you also had Tank Girl and Judge Dredd. Those were
I'd
like
completely forgotten about Dick Tracy for sure. So yeah, let's I'm gonna start adding some of these in. Of course we've got Alita.
yes.
Um, Batman I'll just do Tim Burton and then Christopher Nolan. Um, The Shadow. What was the other one?
And the
Kind of
Phantom.
right.
I remember. I don't remember the Phantom. I mean, I didn't see it. Or no, I saw it, but I was so young, and it was so strange. I didn't
Yeah,
like
me
his
too.
costume either.
I need to see it again. I really don't have any memory of it.
Tank Girl is one that's forgotten too.
Tank
Oh
Girl.
shit! Yeah, you're right.
And Road to Perdition is one I don't think a lot of people know was based on a
Yeah.
comic, and that's a masterpiece.
There's
Really
Red,
good.
and remember the other one is oh man, you feel
Blade.
lucky, punk. Hold on. The Losers. The Losers, the comic. Red's a comic.
The Losers, huh? Not
Yeah.
familiar with that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Now I know you love Sim. You love Alita.
Yeah. You could put time 2 there.
So I don't. I mean, for you, is it in the top for you?
uh, hmm. It would be the top in the manga section, so it would be in one of my top 5 probably. But the Crow to me is one of my favorites,
Yeah,
honestly.
dude.
And I
I
really
mean,
like in the old classic. I really like the Shadow and the Batman by Tim Burton.
Yeah, the Tim Burton Batman. I just have such a fond.
Mm-hmm.
I think I went to see that
And
with
that
my dad, and it was like it was just a completely unique experience, and I think it was at the time the most expensive film made at the time.
one of the
Um,
ones that also on the top that you forgot to put on the list, and you should be ashamed of yourself. The original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
mm,
That one was awesome. You still watch it today, and they still make you believe they're real. It's freaking awesome.
yeah, that was impressive, dude. Oh, there's a bunch
But
I
the first
haven't.
one, yeah.
There's a shit ton I haven't put on here. Um,
I'm starting to realize just from this list, like how many there actually are, and like I don't like when I think of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I don't even think about the comic. It's not even it doesn't even register. Like I know technically, but
Yeah.
oh, I love Old Boy is a fucking. I didn't. I gotta say I was ignorant on that. I didn't know it was based on a comic book.
oh, was it? See, that's another thing.
Well, there's a
I,
lot of them that people don't even know.
I did not know. Now I'm assuming you're talking about the original, Dave, on that one. Because have you guys seen Old Boy? The
The new
original
one
Old Boy?
with
No,
Thanos.
the original one.
Oh, the original movie.
Yeah.
Um, clips of it.
It's
Not
so fucking dude. It's the physicality of it is absolutely amazing. The artistry of the camera work. Jesus, man, it's so visceral. And then the ending, just like, ooh, it gets weird. It gets really weird.
yeah.
Yeah, I really like
Yeah.
the first Deadpool too. By the way, that's another
Oh
one that
yeah,
should be
yeah,
there.
of course, of
And
course.
Hellboy, the first series.
Yes.
Those are really two of my favorites too.
We're Samir, we're kind of getting started on the process of ranking comic to film adaptations. Um, we probably, I think, I didn't plan well enough for it. I thought there would be an easy way to do like an online ranking thing, but um, I think we can just get it started and then maybe do a big ranking show. Like,
Now I'm realizing that I need to make a top 10 because top 5 is not enough. Because dude, two of my favorite ones that has to be in the top is 300 and Sin City. Those comic book adaptation are amazing and don't.
okay, you said Hellboy and oh yeah, Deadpool.
300
Yeah, 300,
Sin City.
Sin City.
There's one that sucks called The Spirit.
Well, yeah, it would be on the bottom. I mean, we're not just putting grades here.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna rank them. We gotta include the shit
Wait, they
as
made a
well.
Spirit movie?
Yeah,
Hold on.
directed and produced by Frank Miller.
Frank Miller directed it? I
Yeah,
guess he could, technically, but it sucked.
yeah, yeah. It's an enjoyable. You could if you're a fan of Frank Miller, watch it. He tried to reproduce the Sin City vibe of his comic with the Spirit.
Oh.
So
Oh, yeah.
it's a fun watch for Will Eisner, the Spirit, and Frank Miller, but it's not a great movie.
Um, yeah, I think when I had the idea for this, I knew there were a lot, but again, it's like once you really start thinking about it and poking around, it's like there are so many comic to film adaptations. We'd probably
We
if
didn't
we
even
do
put
a
any
full on
Marvel yet.
ranking. Yeah, well, I kind of like
I know,
Um,
right?
we'd have to create categories if we want to do this right. So maybe this will just be kind of an ongoing. We'll create a master ranking list over the course of a couple weeks or something.
Man of Steel.
Oh,
I really like that one.
Superman, Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Which one? They kind of blur together a little bit for me. Which one was that?
Man of Steel is the one with Henry Cavill.
Yes. But wasn't
Yeah.
he? Was he only in one solo Superman film?
Yep.
Were the rest all team up?
After that, it was the Batman v Superman. Now supposedly they're in talk of doing another Superman movie.
And he bringing him back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know for a minute, they were like, he's out. And I think the reaction was so, like, they were like, oops, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, but you remember that the reason why we're getting the Snyder Cut is because the actors were pissed too. They were asking for it.
Yeah. I don't know why these studios, it never fucking works when you take a project that's nearly finished and then you bring someone in to completely rearrange it, change the tone of it. How could they know it's not going to work? It never works.
The same thing happened with Daredevil. If you ever go back, right, and watch the movie Daredevil with Affleck, take the time one day to just watch the director's cut. It's a way better movie. A lot like when you rewatch Batman versus Superman, the full edition. It's the movie is way better, makes more sense. It's a different type. Well, if you go to Daredevil, the director's cut, it's a different movie. Like you have more of the case in court. You discover that the assistant of Kingpin killed a prostitute, and this and that Coolio wasn't there, and a whole bunch. It's very different. It doesn't turn around the romantic love of Elektra and Daredevil. It's a more Daredevil story.
Well, and if Coolio's in it,
it's cool.
I would like to submit Steel, 1997's Steel.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to drop the link in the chat for people. Bing. There you go, George.
The first Avengers was amazing.
Steel. So let's do Avengers first film. I mean, I think with Avengers you have to also put what was it? The Infinity War or what?
No, you don't.
Well,
you don't think that was good? You didn't like it?
I don't think that it should be. Well, are we talking about the individual films, like because Endgame would be like. I think Endgame would slap all of them right in the face.
You liked Endgame better. See, I thought
No, I'm sorry. No, Infinity War.
I think in just overall like structure of the film and enjoyment of it, Infinity War I really enjoyed.
I loved Infinity War. And Endgame was dog shit. It was horrible. I was so angry.
It had little moments that were pretty cherry, but yeah.
Well, and in full disclosure, part of my problem was that I was sitting next to a mouth-breathing kid and his stupid dad, and they were talking through the entire film. And then the one thing I didn't want them to do, the one thing I said to everybody, all my friends, my wife, and everybody's like, just as long as they don't rely on time travel to try to do anything with this, have anything to do with the movie, then I'll be okay. And they decided that they were just going to time travel themselves. And time travel is what storytellers do when they have no ideas and no creativity.
Exactly, man.
No offense to anybody who's making a time travel comic right now.
Yeah, I mean, in the history of time travel, anything, there's only been a handful of really great time travel movies. And usually when it's, like you're saying, when it's, injected into something that already exists, it's kind of like, when something goes to space that didn't start in space. You know it's over at that point.
Yeah.
It's like Jason in space. Oh, fuck. It really is over. So, hey, Dave, how you doing?
Yeah, not bad. You guys, you all right?
Yep. Yeah, doing good. Now, the Hulk franchise, which Hulk film do you think? I mean, I don't think any of them really did too great a job, but which one do you guys like?
The best one was the second one, but the Hulk was better in the first one. The Hulk. I mean, like, the look of it. Like, the only thing I don't like about the second Hulk is the look of Hulk.
Now, who was in the second Hulk?
Edward Norton.
Yeah.
I think that,
The secret bad guy from Alita.
right.
Did you notice?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely noticed. I think that Edward Norton really had a lot of passion for that film and wanted, I think if they had given him the reins a little bit more, but it seemed like the director was kind of pissed off about it. Like, that he was a little overbearing and wanted to do things a very specific way. And I think there was a lot of, conflict on the set there.
But I still think he was the best Bruce Banner that we got.
Yeah. Let's
I
see,
thought
Norton. And who played Hulk the first time? I can't even remember.
Banner.
Lou Ferrigno?
Banner.
Oh yeah, Eric Bana.
Eric Bana.
Yes. Right.
I liked Eric Bana, but that movie was weird as shit.
Yep.
Now,
Especially the end fight in the clouds.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other throwaway trope that I remember a lot of these movies would use, like the amorphous cloud fight at the end. And it's like, what did they do that with? They did that with Galactus in Fantastic Four.
Oh. Yeah, that fucked that movie up.
In what?
In
I know. I'm just.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, in what?
Yeah, it's horrible because that kind of brings back to what we were talking about before a while back. The whether when movies stay true to the comics visually, and in that particular instance, it's like, why wouldn't you want a triple planet sized giant robot monster man to not show up outside the planet? I mean, that would be a huge, awesome thing to show, and instead you just all over the screen with the
right.
I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah.
You don't have the Fantastic Four, the 1994 Fantastic Four.
Because it was more important to do a cheesy dance scene than putting the budget into a Galactus. Remember that dance scene that was stupid as hell?
Wait, was there a dance scene?
Yeah, Mr. Fantastic when he was dancing, stretching his arms.
Oh God.
That wasn't the second one, right?
It might have been like sometimes
Yeah,
I see these
second one.
movies and
It
my
was in the
brain
second one.
falls.
Yeah. So that I'm like, they wasted money there, but Galactus was too expensive. After.
Oh, a funny story about Galactus is that the visual effects artists who were in charge of the cloud effects, they petitioned the director to actually put the shape of the Galactus helmet, the silhouette, in was it 1 or 2 seconds at the end?
Yeah.
That was a hard fight just for that.
Yeah. You see it when the cloud lights up. You see the shape of the helmet.
No, I don't even remember. Like I my brain fogged it over to save me, to rescue me from my own memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I act like it doesn't exist.
I wanted to so Edward, Samir brings up, that Edward Norton has control issues. And I think, from what I've heard, that's probably true, but he also seems to be, he brings a lot to the table. I think he has great ideas and will probably become a really strong filmmaker in his own right. I mean, he just directed a film not long ago, right? Brooklyn something Brooklyn.
Oh, Edward Norton.
Yeah, it was like a noir kind of detective movie. I'm pretty sure he directed that, and he's got some chops.
I saw that film. That was good. That was really good.
Yeah. So, maybe he has control issues, but also, recognize that he actually has really strong ideas and tends to make films better. I'm pretty sure his influence over American History X is what made that film what it is. So,
for me personally, that Ed Norton Hulk film, there was a scene where he is, broke, it's got no money.
mm-hmm.
And he's slow. You see his progression of slowly, working for a couple of pennies, and works his way up to having a shirt, pants, and all that stuff. And then they bring in the lonely music from the Hulk TV series with Lou Ferrigno. That for me, that was the price of admission right there.
Yes.
Now, was the Edward Norton one? Is that the one that had Tim Roth as
Yes.
the baddie? That's where it went off the rails, man. Nothing. I mean, I love Tim Roth, but Jesus, it was horrible.
He was a
And
new
who-
version
and-
of a super soldier, yeah.
Yeah. And who knew, eh? That what do you call Abomination appeared in Superman versus Batman. That was awesome. There's a Marvel DC
Crossover right there.
crossover right there.
Yes, indeed. So, what I'm curious, what others think about, and Sim, you brought this one up, but the Shadow with that's Alec Baldwin, yeah.
Yes. I love that one.
I always was pretty fond of it, and I think it still holds up.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it not too long ago, dude. It does hold up. Like the intro scene, the fact that it was already made to be like in the past when it was made, so it still works right now. And man, I still love every second of it. Like
They somehow,
and a
even
movie
though-
like that could not be made anymore because Genghis Khan.
right? and somehow they captured, even though it's a film, it almost had that vibe of being a radio show at the same time. It was somehow they captured that, and that was impressive to me.
That I really love that movie for a couple of reasons. One is, it was like a radio play. It was just absolutely fun. If you actually took the whole thing and made sepia tones or black and white, it looked like you were watching a 40s or 50s movie. It was that fun. It was that fun.
Yeah, and I don't understand. It didn't do well at all, right? It just completely bombed.
I know. That freaked me out. And the thing that really I loved about that film is that John Capellos, the guy that the Shadow beat up in the opening, I know the guy. I know the guy. I talked to him. I got his number on my speed dial. And the funny story is, I met him at the time when the thing was just before or after. I don't remember. Was it before or after the movie was released? We were both at HMV in the lineup, and it was raining outside at Dundas and Yonge Square in Toronto. Like the heart of Toronto kind of thing. And we were just talking and stuff, and he goes, my name, I'm John Capellos. I go, you look familiar. And as I'm doing my check, I goes, yeah. I did this. I'm going, it's not ringing a bell. You must not be that good.
Oh no. Yeah, that was a great. I'm sure everyone was really surprised that it didn't. I'm sure Baldwin was like, "This is it. This is my."
But
this is my money train right here. This is going to go on for like.
They respected the character. They respected the environment from the get-go. Even the setup, the intro, dude. Just the intro, gets you going like gaga. Like even if you don't know the goddamn character, you know him by that bridge scene. You know the goddamn character by the end of it. Like the thing of the shadow where he melts in the shadows. That's so fucking good. Sweet. Yeah,
it looks so good, and just like, his struggle with that darkness that is in him, like they just really captured it well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's too bad.
I didn't understand, like when he puts on the scarf, does his nose get super long? Is that a result of the scarf, or are they trying to imply like that's really how long his nose is?
That's his real him. Because if you remember when you see him younger, when he gets like cursed in a way, right?
Yeah.
You see he has the ugly nose, right? What you're seeing in the show is that you can hide it.
Oh.
But you can't hide his true self, the dark self, when he goes into it. So it gets even worse. Yeah. So that's the basic of the character. He can cloud your mind, so you can make you look at him pretty if he isn't.
Yeah, really cool. Is that character public domain at this point?
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's a man.
Oh yeah, I know. I've been checking.
That would be a fun. I would,
that's
fun
one of my favorite ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
I even did a like a little like we were doing like a doodle and chill for Phil, and what he wanted to do was to see our version of a shadow, and I did like a little modern version of it. Dude, I
Nice,
love that
dude.
character.
God, yeah, that'd be fun to draw. I would think as an artist, there's just a lot. Bringing your own interpretation of that, that would be a lot of fun.
Let's see if
For
I can
sure.
find it quickly.
Um, you also brought up Sim. You brought up Tank Girl,
I
and
love
this
that
one's
movie.
really polarizing. I think,
That's a
'cause
great movie.
it's a love hate kind of thing. I don't think anybody's in the middle on this one.
Dude, it's a punk movie. It respected the comic. It's punk as fuck.
Yeah,
Like it's like watching like a movie made for like like a punk band type of song, like album. Like
yeah.
and I love the fact that they respected it, and they had Ice-T as one of the kangaroos.
Yeah, dude, that's when it was. It seemed like he was going to have a very promising film career, and then it just that went away pretty quick. But
Like it's not like one of the greatest cinematographic movies ever, but it's a really fun fucking watch. And what's his name? And then oh man, I forgot his name. The guy from Clockwork Orange there.
oh yeah, dude,
McDowell.
Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah, Malcolm McDowell is in there as the bad guy, and he's fucking great.
It's-
when
yeah.
he kills somebody to purges out the water out of him, dries him out. Come on, that's fucking funny as hell, and it's super Tank Girl. So they respected the corniness of Tank Girl, and I like it. That's why
They
I
really
liked it so
did.
much.
And I can never remember her name, the actress that played Tank Girl.
Lori Petty.
Yeah, she was so. It was like you were born for this. This was your role,
Yeah,
and you nailed it. And you nailed it. And it just didn't do well. And it's like, I'm wondering if a couple of these early adaptations, like Shadow and Tank Girl,
But dude, keep in
I
mind.
wonder
that
if
before-
Hollywood looked at that kind of and went, look at what happens when we're really faithful.
No, that's not it. The problem is
To
that
it.
remember that came out when most of the Western was still had in the mindset of anything that's comic book is for kids. So even if you
Yeah.
had like the Shadow that was obviously not just for kids, people would still wouldn't go see it as much because hey, it's a kid movie.
I guess you're right, yeah. But I mean,
Now that that type of mindset has changed lately because people see more comics like novels now in a way. Like
Yeah.
right now, they can be anything. They could be for kids. They can be for mature audience. It could be sci-fi. They could be superhero. They could be anything. And that's where it's time to catch up to the European side and the manga side. It's like this needs to stop. Comics are not just for kid. It's for
Yeah.
everybody, and there's all type of comics.
hell yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, there have been a lot. I think probably missing from this list. I've got Road to Perdition in here, but things that comics that aren't really superhero based or in that vein. I think there's a lot of those out there that people probably don't realize, and Road to Perdition is one of my favorites.
There's
Absolutely.
and there's a lot of them that you could go and that were inspired by comic books. Ultraviolet. What's it? Something cock there with Will Smith.
Oh, Hancock.
Hancock. Dude, they
Oh,
weren't
right.
comics, but they're highly inspired by comics. Same thing with Ultraviolet. And they even did a comic book intro. If you remember Ultraviolet, you have comic covers, comic book pages. This, like if it was a comic book, but it never was before.
Yeah, I'm gonna put.
Yeah,
I guess
Bloodshot.
it's a new one. I don't think
It's
I don't
not,
think I even finished that one. I was kind of like,
Mm.
eh.
Yeah, it's a
Didn't-
good.
it didn't-
It's a nice action movie, but it ain't Bloodshot.
Oh, there we go. American Splendor. That's
Isn't-
one that's.
Isn't Bloodshot supposed to be like a straight laced British dude or something?
No, that's Ninjak.
Ninjak. Oh, who's the guy? And Deadshot's the guy with the red spot on his chest, right?
Yeah, he's the military one because you also have Ray that has the same spot. He's the Asian one in the future. Like he looks Asian, like a samurai type. And Bloodshot is the one that's like military,
Okay.
and that's in the present. The other one's in the future.
Did Vin Diesel get in shape, or was he Fat Diesel for this one?
He was in shape. It's just the fact that he didn't seem to want to wear the white skin.
Oh, see, that's the other thing.
And the red spot on the chest, like it's kind of weird.
It's weird.
That's iconic.
Yeah, it's this. I
just remember like, you know, they just hand this guy kind of like infinite power and strength, you know, and they're like, so yeah, you're basically kind of our slave now, and you're gonna do what we tell you, and you know, just stay in your room, behave. It's like, really, really. There's no way you could stop him doing whatever he wants. You think he's just instantly going to accept his new fate? Like, come on.
That's the thing they show you. They can turn him off anytime.
Yeah. Could they?
Yeah, in the movie, that's what they did. Yeah,
well,
they can turn him off anytime. They did at some point, and then they found a way around it.
Okay.
You'll need to.
I guess I didn't pick. I think I didn't finish it, and it's like, why didn't they just do that the moment he?
You see Vin Diesel full white for like 2 seconds in the movie in a cloud scene. In a particle cloud scene.
Oh, are you joking right now, or are you serious?
No, I'm not. I am fucking serious.
Jesus. Oh, by the way, just so I know the ground rules, I guess we're not spoiling anything, any movies, right?
Oh, come on.
I mean, most of
everybody should have seen them.
Yeah,
Okay.
most of these are. I mean, Bloodshot is relatively new, so yeah. But I think we're fine to talk about pretty much any aspect of these.
Okay.
At this point. Yeah, and let's do it. We've got a decent list going here. Obviously, we'll keep adding to it.
Another one that I like that you
Punisher.
probably never heard of. It's Immortel.
What is
Oh,
it?
you keep going.
Immortal.
The guy keeps going to that one. You know, it's like your go-to. You know.
Immortal?
Yeah, I just remembered that one. There's by Bilal.
Immortal.
EL?
With a PAL. It's IMMORTAL.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think it's one of the only European comic that was made to movie adequately. Highly recommend it.
What do you guys prefer in terms of the Bat? Do you prefer Tim Burton or Christopher Nolan's Batman?
Tim Burton.
I'm
Because
gonna say Nolan.
I like the first one from Nolan, but he turned quickly into a spoiled rich brat instead of a guy that's in training to become a detective and this and that. He's just a spoiled rich brat that's pissed off. That's why I kind of lost interest in that Batman.
Yeah.
Nolan for me lost me the moment he shoved all the police in the sewer, and then we're there for how many weeks or months? Anybody know?
I think it was like months.
Okay, so the entire police force was stuck in the sewer for months, and you're telling me they were perfectly groomed when they came out of it? I mean, did we see what happened in Chaz in only 3 days?
That's
and they
why
were above ground. They were above ground.
I guess I didn't. Right, I didn't realize the time frame there was that long. Damn.
I'm not a big fan of the Nolan Batman. The first one was good though. Like it was a good one.
Yeah, the last Nolan went off the rails. The Dark Knight Rises. It was Actually, you know what? Come to think of it, it was. I'm going to reassess and say that Dark Knight Rises was just above par. Because it was like there were so many things wrong with it that I didn't like. They started Batman off. First of all, they started him off with on canes and crutches, and he's hobbled, and he hasn't been doing anything for 8 years. Batman doesn't quit. Batman wouldn't have stopped. He should have been like this outlaw the entire time, being chased after police and trying to solve crimes.
Yeah, and that entire detective side of him, none. He's just a big brute.
Yeah.
That's all he is in that one. And that's why I'm like, that's not Batman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
In
don't
my-
know. I'd have to say, I guess I have again the attachment to Tim Burton's Batman just because of when I saw it. Just a really good memory of it, and just it was such a unique thing at the time.
I
Um,
have an issue with Tim
Emma.
Burton's Batman, right?
a lot of
But,
I would
the only one issue when he is right there with Catwoman and he rips off his mask, you know, the Kevlar knife protecting fabric mask. He was able to just reach over and sort of putty the thing off his head.
right.
What the royal heck? What the royal heck was that all about?
That's an odd choice for sure. Yeah.
Rubber Kevlar. Never heard of?
Yeah.
Am I the only one who likes Batman and Robin?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're the only one.
I'm the only one. Alright, cool. Just checking.
Yeah, it's
Now
good.
is that the Clooney?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Freeze, right? Mr. Freeze.
Oh God.
Is that the one?
Where they say that it's they're skating, but they obviously and you can see the rollerblades.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the credit
Mr.
card
Freeze.
and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
you're the only
didn't
one.
say it was a good
Okay.
movie.
That,
You
that
said
movie-
you liked it.
Yeah, I
that
liked
movie-
it. Don't mean it's good.
Yeah.
I like a lot of shit.
that movie was that particular movie was so close to the 1966 Batman, it was ridiculous, and it was
Yeah.
awesome at the same time.
Yeah, I think there is something to be said that it's a perfect piece of schlock, like, and there's a whole fandom for that, and I think if that was their intention and that's what it was meant to be, then they fucking achieved 100%
I mean,
success.
what? How does a street gang that has no form of income afford all that neon tubing?
Right. Oh man, it was just so
It's
fucking.
It's also custom neon tubing. You know how much that goes on the street value?
Yeah, that was some goofy ass. It just, but again, they tried to capture something like you're saying, the essence of an older time, an older iteration of it, and it just didn't connect with people, and it certainly didn't connect with me, and it's too bad because Clooney really had a shot at being a good Batman, I think.
Bat nipples.
And that dude,
What,
the
you mean-
Val Kilmer. What about the Val Kilmer? Dude, him getting suited up. Whew. I had weird feelings about that.
Yeah, I had issue with Batman always rocking his head side to side every time he talked.
Oh man.
Oh,
The
this
Clooney.
this move.
No,
Yeah.
Clooney, when he was always talking, and you had his classic like head to bob from left to right all the time when he's talking. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It was like he couldn't get out of the character from ER.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, right. That has got to be kind of tough when you play a character for that length of time, like to get it out, to remove it from your repertoire.
That's what happened to the guy who played the Daredevil on Netflix. He went for the role of Han Solo, and he didn't get it because it was creepy. And they said, why? Well, your eyes are not there. And he goes, oh shit, it's because I'm so used to playing Daredevil. He literally
Right.
played young Han Solo as Daredevil.
That's funny, dude. Did you want me to share this, Sam?
Yeah, I found it. That was the redesign of the
Oh.
shadow.
Yeah. Oh, you totally modernized it. That's cool.
Nice.
Like I modernized it, but I try not too much. Just
Yeah.
just to give it like a tweak that can still fit in the same era. Just a little
Yeah.
tweak. Like I gave him like the bell here for the charger because I think that's something that would be useful for somebody like him that they're really
Okay.
close.
All right. I think I speak for everybody here on the panel and in the chat and in the world all over. Screw you, Sim.
It's a universal sentiment, of course. Yeah.
Well, okay. Thank you, Peter.
Well, I mean,
I-
when's the last time you helped an old lady cross the street, eh? When's the last time you gave to Goodwill? You just sit there and continue to draw.
Yeah.
I'm also raising 4 kids.
Damn, dude.
Well,
Fair play.
I have to bring that in. Well, that explains it all.
Fucking hard working, dude. So what's the verdict on Dick Tracy?
Oh, I loved it, dude.
Yeah,
It's exactly Dick Tracy. If you just like, I was not a big fan of Dick Tracy, but the movie made me a fan of Dick Tracy because they respected it
it,
so.
it was like the Dick Tracy of the black and whites that I saw.
Yeah.
The black and white serials and the movies. It was beautiful. It was perfect reproduction of it. The casting was great.
Yeah.
It's too bad it didn't make more money than it should have.
And
or
the actor
had the respect. But,
and the actors
was
had
Warren Beatty.
and
Warren
the
Beatty
the actors actually
and
had
Madonna.
like the makeup of the characters, like the flathead. Like back then, they actually wear nose piece and stuff like that. Instead of
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
no,
dude,
no,
it
no,
was
no,
awesome.
I'm too good. I want people to see my face. I didn't
Right.
care. They have to look like the fucking character.
Again, if you take that movie and make it and you drop the color, make it into black and white, and watch it, it's like you're watching that 50s all over again.
Yeah, it gives me. I go as far as going. The way that it's built, the way that it goes, it reminds me also of the type of the old cartoons. Like it's watching a cartoon, but in real life.
Yeah,
like you get the same feeling of watching like your Roger Rabbit or something when you're watching it. It's like you're watching a live cartoon.
The colors were very pastel, very bright, very very vibrant.
And Madonna, was that Madonna's first entry?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they also overplayed a bit, like they you call the Shakespearean type of acting.
Oh, right.
Right. Like they did it over the top a bit, the acting on the character to really give them character.
Yeah.
And
sorry, George, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No. I just wanted to throw out the word Speed Racer. It was like Dick Tracy, bright, vibrant colors, over the top acting. It was just pure fun.
I loved it. Yeah.
Really underrated.
Now I have not seen. Is that you're talking about? Is that the Wachowski?
Yeah.
Thing? I haven't seen that.
It's a fun watch. Yeah.
Were they still guys at that point?
Yeah.
I'm saying they had balls. They took chances. You had Matrix 1. Okay, Matrix 2 they weaked out. Matrix 3 they weaked out even further. But they took a chance with Speed Racer. Yeah, they had a chance with Speed Racer. They literally excised it right out of the animation. And it made it into live action.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, they really, took a chance, and you got to respect that. It's like Ed Wood. He took a chance.
Well, speaking of taking a chance, we're missing one movie off this list.
What's
Howard
that?
the Duck.
Howard the fucking Duck. Holy
yes.
crap.
Oh.
I haven't thought about that in a while. Wow.
I like to point out a little fun fact about history. George Lucas approached Dave Sim to do Cerebus, the aardvark, as a movie like Howard the Duck, and Dave Sim said no. It was a big thing in the comic book world because oh my God, Sim said no to Lucas and all that stuff, and then Lucas turned his eyesights on Howard the Duck, and since then Sim looked at the movie and said, "Boy, did I dodge a bullet."
Oh, that was Howard the Duck was a Lucas thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, George Lucas.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Howard the Duck was weird. I did not like it.
Same with Willow. Remember Willow?
I like Willow.
That was a Spielberg Lucas collaboration.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's just during that time when I saw Willow at the age I was and the time, I absolutely loved it. I don't know how I'd feel about it now.
I think it holds up.
Weird.
I saw about a year ago. I rewatched it. It holds up. Val Kilmer's great in it, and it's got one of my favorite scenes. It's right at the beginning of any movie when the wizard comes to town and he's looking for apprentices at the festival, and he asks all of the little hobbits, which finger does my magic come from, and Willow almost picks the right one, and it's just not the right one, but like
I was gonna say
it innately understands that the magic's not in a stupid fucking finger, and I was like, that was I thought that was really important. It was really important to me that it stuck out
Yeah.
to me, even when I was
Yeah.
a little kid.
There's another movie I just can't remember. It's not that good, but Cheesecake Factors, Barbed Wire.
What? Oh, barbed wire. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start that one down here. Yeah. But, probably not as bad, I don't know. I think it
Electra.
may have been fun.
Remember Daredevil and Electra?
And Hex Allen was curious. Now, I don't know if this is Kick-Ass based on a comic?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Wanted as well. Don't forget Wanted.
Ooh.
Oh,
Kick-Ass.
and
What did you guys think of the
oh.
first Kick-Ass?
Well, I really liked it. One of my favorite lines in that movie. But I was gonna wait for Hit Girl. It's just ridiculous.
Don't forget Wanted, and there was also Scott Pilgrim that was a big movie hit.
Yeah, we got someone in the chat through that. I think Samir dropped that one. I got it in here. Wanted was a pretty fun movie. I don't know if it does any justice to the comic. I can't speak to
Nope.
that, but
It's nothing like the comic.
30
I
Days a
assume-
Night.
kind of yeah.
Yep.
That was when Steve Niles came out with that comic. It was like, how is nobody hit on this title? It's one of those things that just seemed like it should have always existed.
Yep.
Yeah, that was cool. They did a fair job on the film.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
And
no, I liked it.
it was it brought me to the comic. I really enjoyed the comic too. And there's Legion of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I think it was the Legion.
Yeah.
No, the
Yeah.
League, not the
The
League.
League of Strange.
League, yeah.
It's been so long. I mean, that movie takes a ton of shit, doesn't it?
We forgot one big one. Delayed.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Of course.
This is like the one that started the Marvel shit. Like it started making like they really started making movie with comic book. I think that was one of the first ones. After it died out after Batman, right? Most of the freaking movies that we're doing that we all remember fondly were technically flops. Blade came out and nailed the shit out.
Blade
Going,
was,
hey,
Blade
Batman,
was
hold
so
my
great,
drink.
man. I love the first Blade. It's so fucking great.
Yeah, first
Yeah.
one and second one. The second one, like I do like the Guillermo del Toro twist with the vampire
Yeah.
feeding under the vampire, and he's the one that started doing the transition. Remember those fight scenes? They look weird a bit in there, but they were the first ones to actually push it that much, where they would transit between the real life action fight to a CG actor. And I think that when you consider that they were some of the first ones to try it out, they nailed the fuck out of it. When he grabs Blade and passes him through the freaking pillars, that's awesome. you know.
Oh yeah, dude, you're right. The second one had a lot of great material in it for sure, and visually it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was cool. Damn, I can't believe Blade wasn't on here right away.
I couldn't get into the third Blade movie the moment that girl put on the headphones
Oh,
so
dude.
she can play music and kill her sensory deprivation. It was all of a sudden she's what, psychic? Oh, there's an attack right behind you. How did you hear it from all that blaring music in your head?
Yeah, for sure.
I like the third one. The third one gets a lot of shit though. I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot.
I mean, there's a part that I like from it. I like the Dracula aspect of it, the story they came up with the bad guy, but all the rest, like the bitch vampire, the wrestler vampire,
Right.
Annabelle in there was not Annabelle at all. Like I love Ryan Reynolds, but it was not a character at all.
Oh, was he based on a real character?
Yeah, if you go to the Midnight Suns back in the 90s with the Ghost Rider and a whole bunch of other, they had a big crossover, and Annabelle was part of them. He's a vampire.
Oh, Yeah, I'm mostly, maybe it's just that I remember Jessica Biel fondly, and that's where my emotions come from for that movie.
Yeah, I think most people just really didn't like the third Blade.
We don't
No, I
talk
mean,
about the third.
Yeah.
it's not that great compared to the 1 and 2, but like I'm telling you, like I agree with you that I like one thing about it, and it was when the way they brought in Dracula in there and how he was. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Other than that, nope.
We
Oh,
also
I like the
forgot
vampire dog.
Dracula
Watchmen.
by Dominic Purcell. You know, was it Heat Wave in, or is it Fire something in, was it the CW universe?
Ice Beaster. What's the name of it? Fuck. Snow.
Legends of Tomorrow.
No,
Oh.
the one with the guy that played Captain America, and they're in a freaking train that breaks the ice. Ice.
Ice Piercer?
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer. Yeah, it's a comic book.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, Drawing Aces says it's Heat Wave. Yeah, Heat Wave on the CW. Legends of Tomorrow. I thought Dominic Purcell is a great actor, a really great actor.
Snowpiercer, man, I love that movie. Have you guys heard the theory about Snowpiercer being a sequel to Willy Wonka? Secretly?
No.
I did. Who was I watching?
What did you think about it?
It was convincing. I mean, it made absolute sense.
Yeah,
So
I thought so too. He brought up a lot. There's a video on YouTube. If you just look up Snowpiercer Willy Wonka sequel. I'm sure you'll find it on YouTube. It's a really fascinating video and a lot of great. I mean, the fact that the train builder is the kid from Willy Wonka who took over the factory. That's the train builder, and there's a lot of evidence to suggest that it makes sense.
And I would like to highlight the fact that it's based on a French graphic novel.
Snowpiercer?
It's another one of a European comic that was made into a movie.
Yeah, I really like that. We forgot too the Watchmen film.
Yep.
What do you guys think about that?
I liked it.
Yeah, it was decent.
Yeah,
It's something.
Watchmen is based on an English writer's work. There's Sim.
yeah.
It's one of, even though Watchmen, there's a fair amount of it that bugs me. It's still one of those movies I can watch over again and enjoy it. Like I still get something out of it, you know.
You know, it's funny about the Watchmen is that Sean Connery had a choice between Lord of the Rings and the Watchmen.
And the Watchmen?
No, not the Watchmen. Sorry, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
He chose wisely.
Oh, and don't forget Kingsman as well.
Yeah, the first one, not the second one.
Are you kidding me? He said no to Kingsman?
I said
no. No, I was to add in the list. No, he didn't.
No,
he
I
didn't.
said King. No, Kingsman's amazing. The second one, shit.
Yeah, what were they doing with that?
I don't know.
How do you get it so right the first time?
The second one I watched, that I didn't see the first one. I did see some clips from it. The second one I watched, and I was utterly annoyed with the motivations of the villains, because none of it made sense. It was so internally logically broken that I don't know. I just I kept watching it.
Go watch the first one, and you'll thank us.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, it's really strong, really strong.
About
the Valerian.
Yeah, that was the
who is the director on that?
Luc Besson.
Yeah, Luc Besson, and it's like, I gotta say, I don't appreciate it. I didn't
like it. It was visually beautiful. The graphic was amazing. The world, everything was great. But
what about Lucy and the Fifth Element?
They're not based on comics per se, even though they're inspired by, especially like Fifth Element, because they even went to court. But yeah,
Fifth Element is great. Lucy's a little weak.
Luc Besson has been sued many times for ripping off other creators, and he lost to Not Cameron, the other one. Damn it.
He actually
John-
lost the case.
Yeah, he lost Carpenter because he made the movie. He made a sci-fi movie, Fallout or something like that, and it was technically a rip-off of Escape from LA, and Carpenter won.
Now, of course, we knew once Brian showed up, he'd drop stuff on us that most of us haven't seen. That was going to happen, of course.
Toxic
Wasn't,
Avenger. No, it
300
wasn't a
based on
comic
a
before.
comic?
Forget it.
Listen,
Now,
we've
I'm
been
gonna have
talking a
to-
lot. Dave, what do you have to say about all this?
Me? No, I'm just going along with it. We've got a few more to add to the list. Went 300 based off a comic?
Yep.
Yeah, we
who
got
was it?
that. We got
You
that.
got that 300. All right, I can't read apparently. Rocketeer, the Disney movie. Wasn't that a comic?
What is it?
The
Yes,
Rocketeer?
it was. Yes, it was a
Oh,
comic before.
Rocketeer,
It was,
yeah.
it was
Oh,
one of those radio
Rocketeer!
things, yeah.
Jesus,
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave Stevens. God rest his soul.
that's like it's like almost a perfect movie. Absolutely awesome.
And another
Yeah.
one that didn't do so great in the box office, I think. And I don't understand. I love that movie. I
Yep.
loved Rocketeer when I was a kid.
It's like a
I think
superhero
part of the-
Indiana Jones.
Part of the problem with I think the early comic book movies, especially the adaptations, where at least they could be a little more grounded in reality. I think part of the problem was somebody mentioned that there was the stigma against comics for being just a bunch of funny books, and I think something that fueled that too, or that helped to fuel perhaps a lack of promotion. Because when I was a kid, I remember seeing a lot of promotion for all kinds of movies, but not so much like with Rocketeer, not so much.
Now, was Rocketeer another movie that didn't do that well?
If I could be wrong, but there's a memory in the back of my mind that says that it was not the success. Hold on, let me look at I'll look it up.
I can't remember either. And God, what a great movie! It seems like there's quite a list of really great comic book adaptations that didn't do well, and
It was,
people should revisit.
I picked up a DVD a few months back. Man Thing. It's Marvel film. Earlier one.
that was a direct. Yeah, that was a direct to TV VHS. It was a TV movie, but it counts. It was good.
Man Thing.
It was good,
Man Thing.
especially for a direct to
like Swamp
TV.
Thing,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Swampy.
I wanted to say about Luc Besson. The guy just keeps remaking La Femme Nikita, man. It's like enough is enough. La Femme Nikita was awesome. Stop making it.
Oh, and that City of a Thousand, with that movie, what was that
Planet?
called? Valerian.
I think Dave. Sorry, I think
Oh, no,
Dave's
go
getting
ahead.
beat up a lot.
Hey, that's fine. Come at me. I like Batman and Robin.
Dave's choices are being they're being slam dunked pretty much every time.
Hey,
Sorry, I
like-
didn't mean to interrupt. What were you saying, Ryan?
I was just going to slander the casting and make fun of poor man DiCaprio in that movie. He was probably the number one reason. I don't know what the actor's name, but it was
Which
just
movie?
like the Valerian and the City of
Oh,
Songs.
yeah.
Oh yeah, those two actors, they're shit.
The
of
first
them.
couple of minutes was fantastic, and it was like there was no dialogue. It was just like establishing the world, and it was super cool. It reminded me a lot of the Hobbit
Mm-hmm.
movie, which was like the first 30 minutes when Frodo and Bilbo was hosting the dwarves, and it was just oozing Tolkien, and then it all went to shit right after Bilbo left.
God, I gotta watch Swamp Thing again. It's been so long. I remember really liking it.
Swamp Thing.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Yeah, that's right.
It's been a long damn time. It's
Oh,
funny.
and-
I'm not a huge fan of Carpenter, and yet there's a bunch of movies he's done that I absolutely enjoy the shit. I'm not sure why I don't like the guy more overall as a director, but he has
Yeah.
made a lot of iconic, really enjoyable films.
Yep.
I guess it's just the ones he's made that I hate, or I hate them with such passion that it knocks them down my list a bit.
One of the only guys that was able to make a Stephen King movie good.
Oh God, Stephen King has had so many horrible adaptations.
Right?
It's insane, dude. Yeah.
Christine was amazing.
We're missing one amazing movie off the list.
Which one?
Dread.
What's that? Oh yeah.
Dread.
Did we? Yeah,
didn't-
you're right.
Sylve-
Damn, Sim and I were
Sylvester
even talking
Stallone
about it.
Yeah,
Or
it was one of the
which
first
one?
one we said. But there's Judge Dredd and Dredd.
Yeah, let's put
Which
them
is
both on
very-
here because they're very different movies.
And The
Yeah.
Rocketeer had a $35 million budget, and it only made 40. It only made 46 worldwide.
And I like to bring up the reason why we discussed the Judge Dredd and Dredd movie before, and why we think that they both need to be there, is because they're a perfect example of what we're discussing on one of the other shows. Meaning, Judge Dredd, they respected the environment, the world. They even added some stuff from 2000 AD ABC Warrior, right? The environment, everything felt Judge Dredd, not Judge Dredd. So people love the goddamn movie. It became a cult movie, but people don't like Stallone and Dredd because he took off the mask most of the goddamn time, and he's not Dredd. While Judge Dredd, it's the opposite. Dredd is the opposite of it. The environment is nothing like the goddamn comic. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel at all like Dredd, but Dredd is fucking Dredd, and his partner is the actual partner that he has. And
Yeah.
she's played amazing. So that makes the movie as much like people. That's why fans of Dredd, they hate and love both movies for the same reason. It's like
Yeah.
it's a perfect example of when you respect something, right? Very
Right.
solid. So one people love because they respected the character to the core. Even the actor refused to take his helmet off.
So good. Yeah.
And Judge Dredd, you watch it for the environment, the world, the this.
And it's like the new Dread film. It almost feels like it could have been a movie script, like a drug kingpin kind of movie, and maybe it wasn't a Dread script at all to begin with, and then they're like, you know how we could make money on this? Let's turn it into a Dread film. You know, like it feels like one of those. Almost like wasn't the new Joker film that way, where it wasn't initially going to be Joker?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. To me, what it is, for everything I've heard from it, it reminds me of Pagliacci, like a modern version of Pagliacci, the sad clown. So
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it yet, so I'll watch it. I know right now it's on
shit.
Netflix, I think, right?
Is it?
I
Shit,
think
I'll
it
watch
is
it.
now.
I haven't watched it yet either.
Because me, it's everything I've seen from it reminded me of Pagliacci, and and even the makeup is similar to the original.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Brian has the same exact plot as the Raid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a building on lockdown kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was so fun though. Loved it.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, shit.
The story's not that great and everything, but the characters, you're expecting the characters so much. That's why people loved it. The fans loved it because the character was there. They were actually looking at Dredd, while the other one is
Yes.
they were looking at the environment
Yes.
with Stallone in it. That should have been like Stallone meets Dredd.
So how we feel? Do you think we have I think we have a decent list here to work from, and then maybe next Thursday, I'll get things set up properly with like a drag and drop ranking, something we can do, real quickly and easily, and maybe we'll actually do the ranking next week. I think we have a decent list. Chad, is there anything?
Ghost in the Shell. Did we put it in?
What about
Yeah, it's
Mystery
like-
Men?
It's
Are
not.
we? I mean, if
not-
we go, Mystery Man, Jesus,
Ben Stiller, one of my favorite Ben Stiller movies.
was that a comic?
here it
Mystery Man. Oh my God, I forgot all about it.
comes
That's-
again. Like there's a lot of hate for Mystery Men.
No, I loved it.
Best time I had in the movie theater. The
It
part
was
where
fucking
Ben
funny as
Stiller
fuck.
jumps off the second floor to the first floor, and they had the $6 million man sound effect. Oh, come on! Again, best
So good.
And Ben Stiller when he rages up.
yeah. And the most damage they do to the car was they bent the front chevron.
Right. Yeah, it is a really fun movie. It's one I need to revisit again, and as I remember, it just took endless mountains of shit from people.
Yeah.
Like,
And
but
Samir,
it was fun. I don't, I don't
Samir
know.
mentioned Venom.
Yeah,
It's already in.
we got Venom in.
Oh.
We have someone. Hex Allen mentions Shadow and Phantom. We've got them in there.
It's like a goddamn Wikipedia.
Yeah, we've got a good list here. So what's going to be really fun, I think, is trying to rate these top to bottom next week. We're not going to attempt that now.
There's going to be a war next week.
Yeah, it's going to be an all-out war. There's going to be a lot of and I don't know how to work. I guess we. I'm not sure how we should.
Dude, it's hard
work
to freaking
that.
pick 5 out of this. It's freaking hard.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'll get my shit movies at the top there. Don't worry.
Well, Mystery Men, actually well received, Dave.
Yeah.
So congratulations, you got one.
Yeah.
Man, I loved it.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I
also like Howard the Duck song.
I got it, dude. That was such a bizarre experience. I don't know how old I was at the time, but it was just like, I think I really liked it, but I was probably, really young at the time. Just crazy sense of humor, man.
Yeah.
They just went all in on it, and I think that's, things tend to be appreciated when you go all in on it. It might not be well received at the time, but it will become a cult classic. It seems to be how it works.
Oh, yeah, Ghost World. I haven't seen it, but that's one too. That
Oh,
a lot of people don't.
Oh, with Scarlett Johansson, was it, when she was really young? Was that?
What was it called?
Ghost World.
Ghost World.
Oh, right.
That was good. And Steve Buscemi,
Yes.
really good acting in that.
Yeah, that's kind of where she got her start, isn't it, Scarlett?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. That's a great movie. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Really good movie. Damn. Yeah, this is gonna be fun trying to rate this shit. So, Sim, what do you want to shout out today?
Oh boy. Go on my Twitter and go check out all the books I keep tweeting. They need a lot of attention lately. They're not getting it. There's a lot of great books like Outlaw Nights, More Lethal, and a whole bunch of books like that need a lot more attention. So, just go take a look at my wall and check all the things I've been retweeting and take a look at the campaigns you don't know yet.
What is your Twitter?
Simon Sympathy.
Alright.
Yeah, this Outlaw Nights is actually going to be coming on the show tomorrow. At the end of the show, we're going to be talking some Outlaw Nights, and the discussion tomorrow, I'm looking forward to it. It's we're going to delve into digital comics, kind of just hash that out, what people think about digital comics, like art. I don't know. I'm starting to think that maybe digital comics could be a good way to draw in new fans. I mean, I think a lot of the old guard were so in love with the physical comic itself that we may be kind of underappreciating that the next generations are so accustomed to the screen, so used to everything being on the screen, that digital comics could be a thing for them. They might actually be won over into comics that way, and then they'll seek out when they really love something, they might want the physical version of it. So I don't know. I think it could be a good discussion. I hope people join us for that one. And Outlaw Nights, we will be talking to.
Hey, by the way, Outlaw Nights just passed. Is at 93% now.
Nice. It's so close. What is there, like 4 or 5 days left?
6 days, I think.
6. Yeah, we got to get it there because it's such a good-looking book. So I think he's gonna make it.
And then if he passes the 10K, if I remember, if that's what he said, I think that the book doubles. So it becomes a 50 page.
Yeah, Brian, you're right. Slaughter Squad needs more love. It's like this guy has this incredible animation. He makes appearances on a lot of streams, does the work. has a great looking project. I don't know why it doesn't get more love. For sure. Ryan, what you got for us?
I'd like to shout out Wenger's Super Harem, which
Yes.
is currently shipping. And
In a Ziploc bag
yeah.
to your door.
So yeah, it'll stay nice and fresh, and so check it out. It's on demand right now on Indiegogo.
Yeah. I don't know. I just heard about the Ziploc bag thing.
He was getting kicked
today.
right in the dick.
He's gonna handle it. No, I think George, you brought it up the other day, but I didn't know exactly what you were referring to. That he, was that what you were talking about, George?
Yeah, I was gagging. I was making a joke about that.
Yeah, I wasn't aware. I knew something was going on, but I didn't realize it was, about how he was shipping the product. And I certainly didn't know it was like a Ziploc bag was involved somehow.
So the story was that he ordered all these bags for the book and the poster and stuff, and it just did not fit. And he was in a panic, so he looked around in the kitchen to find, and he just found the Ziploc bags that he had. And he started shipping his fucking comics and the poster in these Ziploc bags. But he handled it with grace. He handled it with grace.
Yeah, like George said the other day, he's taking care of it like a man. He's stepping up to it. And I honestly think a lot of people are amused, think it's a great way to get Super Harem. Like, it's almost fitting.
Well, the problem is Ziploc bags actually retain moisture. So
yeah, I'm sure it's a problem.
If you're not in a perfect arid environment, your comic's going to come in soaking wet.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that he's just taking care of it and doing the right thing there. Dave, what would you like to shout out?
As usual, follow me on Twitter, Bristolian Dave. I know I shouted out Chubb's last time, his comic, Merry Boys, but he's now doing T-shirts.
Ooh.
So,
I saw the dude. The design looks absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
That T-shirt looks really cool. I think the T-shirt designs overall in ComicsGate could be better. There's some good ones out there, but Merry Boys really looks like he put in the time on that design. George.
GeorgePettyGadgets.com. Everything's there.
Nice.
Get the book or sign up for the second book. Big discounts. Ships and figurines are coming.
Yes. Nice, dude. Drawing Aces brings up this point. Digital comics don't work and don't draw you in like a physical book does. This is exactly the kind of thing I want to talk about tomorrow on the show. So I just want to
give everybody a primer. I'd like to give everybody a primer. If I do make it onto the panel tomorrow, I'm going to call bullshit on everybody because for 30 years I've been delivering my book digitally, and people have been getting a floppy disk, a CD, whatever you want to call it, and then they looked at it and said, "Yep, I'd like to get the physical copy. Thank you so much."
I'm part of the one that wanted the physical copy, right? But I also understand that there's people that prefer digital, so you don't refuse the service a demographic because of it. If there's actual people that prefer digital, and at this point, I can understand the worry from before. But at this point, right now, everybody can scan your goddamn book with their phone in less than 5 minutes and put it on the web.
Yeah.
And Google created a very special device that you can just put on your coffee table, and the thing will scan in a novel, a magazine, or a comic.
Can't be afraid of pirating. That's just not. It's not. ComicsGate should not be afraid of that. It's really, I think, a non-factor in it. But these are all that I think we're going to get into some great discussion about this tomorrow. So please tune into that. I appreciate the panel for being here and the chat for contributing as always. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.